Today we are finally taking my 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ back to the Jeep shop to discuss doing something that I've been talking about for probably the past 2 years. Now you guys might be able to guess it because I've made several videos about this, and you guys might also be able to tell by what's in the trunk right there. But we are actually finally taking action on getting my rear bumper replaced, as well as the rear bumper brackets and the rear bumper end caps. So as you guys know, if you've been following along with the video, my XJ here is a preservation and restoration project. So my whole goal is to get rid of all the rust, and pretty much the rear bumper is the last actual rusty part that's on my Jeep here. So let's go ahead and let me show you guys what the rear bumper currently looks like. You guys probably already know what it looks like if you've seen my previous videos, but right there you can get a good look at all the rust right over here. And then here is also a pretty nice spot of rust as well. So we are getting this whole entire bumper replaced. And in addition to the actual bumper, we are also going to get the actual bumper brackets replaced. So not sure how well these are going to show up, but as you can see, these brackets here are extremely rusty. So we are getting those replaced as well on both sides. Now we are also getting these rear bumper end caps replaced because, as you guys can kind of see, they are getting a little bit faded. Not sure how well it's going to show up on camera, but that's a pretty common issue with these old XJs, is that the bumper end caps get faded. So moving on to the front here, just as a comparison. So these front bumper end caps were actually already replaced. You can see it does look a whole lot better with this black color as opposed to the faded look that it has in the back here. So rear bumper end caps, rear bumper brackets, and the whole rear bumper is finally getting replaced. And as you guys know, the main holdup with this is that the driver's side of the rear bumper bracket was on back order for like a whole year. So we were pretty much just waiting to get that in. So we finally have all the parts, and let's go ahead and show you guys what we are working with right here. So of course, in this big box right here, we do have the OEM bumper. Here we have the 2 bumper brackets, as you can see right there. Then in these, we do have the driver and passenger side bumper end caps. Let's go ahead and head to the shop, and I'll update you guys once we get there. You guys might also remember that about last year we went to a restoration shop, and we were talking about the same exact thing with these parts that we have back here. Now we are not going to that same shop, and the reason for that is because you know, I went to the shop, they told me that I should order all the parts on my own, which I did, and that they would get back to me with a price, but nobody ever got back to me. So that's not really the type of communication that I would want if they are the ones working on my vehicle. So I decided to go with the shop that also replaced all the cooling rod parts about 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, if you guys remember that. So we're going to that shop. They specialize mostly in off-road and, you know, other types of modifications like lift kits, wheels and tires, stuff like that. But they also do mechanical work, and I'm going to see if they do body work as well. I'm sure they would be willing to do a rear bumper install, just not sure about the paint process. So the bumper came painted completely black, so I do want to get it painted Patriot Blue to match the body color of my Jeep. So we're going to go in and ask if they can take care of that for us, and let's see how it goes. Alrighty guys, well, I'd say we have made it here to the right spot, all these XJs and TJs. So let's go ahead and go inside and see what we can find out. Alrighty guys, so we just got back from the shop here, and I wanted to give you guys a quick conclusion. So as you see here, we did drop off the actual bumper itself to get painted. So I should be hearing back probably tomorrow or within a few days, and then we can drop off the Jeep next week to actually do the install. So of course, like I said, they are going to paint the bumper to match the body color, which is of course Patriot Blue. Then of course we still have the rear bumper end caps and the bumper brackets right there. So super easy process, just have to wait for the bumper to get painted now, and then I can drop the Jeep off. But I do want to talk to you guys about the pricing. So I have the estimate right here on my phone, so I'm going to read to you guys how much we are paying for this. So the labor for replacing the bumper here is, they estimated 2 hours, so $291.60. The end cap labor is, they estimated 0.4 hours, so a little bit less than half an hour, $54 for that. So, you know, not too bad. I've never actually replaced the rear bumper on my own, but I've heard that it can be a pain, especially since those bolts in the back are super difficult to access. Sometimes I've heard of people actually drilling through the rear bumper just to access those bolts. So I've heard that the process can be pretty difficult. So like I said, 2 hours for the rear bumper, and then 0.4 hours for the bumper end caps. So in total for everything, we are estimated to pay $362.88, and that's only for the labor. We still do have to wait for an estimate from the actual paint shop, so that'll be on top of the $360 for labor. He did estimate that it shouldn't be any more than just a few $100s to paint the bumper, so he estimated probably like 300 bucks to paint the rear bumper. So in total, I could be looking at like 700 to 800 bucks for this whole process, and that mainly only includes the labor since I already purchased the parts on my own. So like I said, the price for the actual bumper brackets, and end caps is not included in that $700 to $800. That price is only for the labor of installing everything and painting the bumper. Now, to be honest, I don't know if that's expensive or not expensive. Like I said, I did go to a different shop last year to get a quote, but you know, like I said, I never actually heard back. And as you guys know, I've already gotten work from this shop that we just went to last year. They actually replaced a whole bunch of cooling parts on my XJ, and it's been holding up great. And everyone that works there is a Jeep enthusiast, so I figured even if that is a more premium price, I would rather have them do it than just go to a regular, like, you know, chain body shop or whatever, because I definitely do trust people who are enthusiasts rather than people who are just there for a paycheck, basically. Not sure if that's expensive or not expensive, but I'd rather get good quality work and actually pay for good quality. So let's go ahead and hop outside. I want to just give you guys a quick walk around on my Jeep and show you guys again what we are going to be getting done to this thing. So right here we got the beautiful Patriot blue paint on my Jeep Cherokee XJ here. So walking around to the back, first thing is the end cap. So as you guys see, and as I stated in the beginning of the video, these are pretty faded. They're not as bad as the fronts were, but as I stated, we do have the fronts already replaced. I do have a video tutorial on replacing the front bumper end caps. These turned out very good. I definitely am very happy with how the color kind of blends into the entire Jeep. I like the contrast of that, how it matches the side molding here as well as the wheels and tires. Definitely looks a whole lot better than that faded gray color that it used to be. Now for the rear bumper end caps, they, like I said, they're not as bad as the fronts were, but they are a little bit faded as well and do have a few kind of like scratches. You can see some like fading right there in the crease. I'm definitely very excited to see what this thing will look like with those brand new bumper end caps. So let's go ahead and actually pull those out, and I want to show you guys how the color actually compares to the old ones. So like I said, we do have the brand new bumper end caps right here, which I'm going to pull out and show you guys a quick comparison. So there we go. That's the opposite one. I'm holding up the passenger side so we can actually walk over there so it's a better comparison. So there you can see how much better the brand new one looks, obviously with that matte textured plastic look as opposed to this super faded gray color. Now the passenger side does look a lot worse than the driver's side in my opinion. Not really sure why that is, but I feel like it's showing up on camera as well. You can see the driver's side looks pretty black. Then walking over to the passenger side, it definitely does look a lot more gray over here. So definitely gonna look a whole lot better once we get those brand new ones installed. And then of course we also do have the brand new bumper brackets here. So nothing fancy, it's just the stock brackets that go underneath the bumper and hold it up to the frame. So here we got both sides. As I said in the beginning of this video, this whole project was on hold for like a year because this one bumper bracket was on back order for an entire year. Not really sure why, because I got the passenger side in a few weeks, and literally the only difference is this little tab. On the passenger side, it's on this side. On the driver's side, it's just on the other side. So that's literally the only difference. So really not sure why it took so long to actually get those. So let's go ahead and take a look at these stock brackets. So right there, you guys can see a much better look at the stock bumper brackets right there. You see how rusty that is, and take a look at the other side here as well. See if we can find it. So this one's a little bit more difficult to look at because the exhaust is in the way, but you can see it right there how rusty that is. So even though you can't see the actual brackets, I think it's good to go ahead and just replace those as well if we're only replacing the rusty bumper, just because it's going to hold up a lot longer and just, you know, improve the quality of the overall vehicle here and structure. So that's going to be a huge upgrade with these brand new non-rusty bumper brackets, and I think it's just going to look a whole lot better. Yeah guys, if you've been following along for the past 3 years, then you guys know we did a whole bunch of rust repairs to this Jeep in the past already, including we replaced the entire driver and passenger side rocker panels, the rear lower quarter panels in the back there. So, you know, definitely a whole bunch of work has gone into this Jeep for rust repairs. And the only piece of the body that is still left to be repaired is, of course, the rear bumper. So that is the final piece to the whole restoration project of my Jeep Cherokee XJ when it comes to rust on the actual body. Now, when it comes to rust on the actual frame or the unibody, that's a different story. So we still do have just a little bit. You can see a little patch right there, and you know, all around the Jeep is pretty rusty. It's kind of hard to not get rust on these old Jeeps, but you can see right there on the back of the frame, it's a little bit rusty as well. The leaf spring bracket right there is a bit rusty, but we have had this thing descaled and undercoated already in the past. But you know, if you guys are owners of old Jeeps, then you know this rust problem is just a never-ending issue. So I'm not planning for this to be the absolute last part of my project, because as you guys know, these Jeeps are pretty much a never-ending project. But I am very happy that we are finally able to do this after like 2 years of planning and 2 years of me saying that it's finally going to happen. So yeah, like I said, it's pretty much the last piece of the puzzle when it comes to rust restorations on the actual body of the Jeep. And yeah, still have a good ways to go when it comes to the actual frame and the unibody rust repairs. So yeah, we'll see what happens next. But after we replace the rear bumper, I'm really not sure what the next step would be. I do have a few ideas, and I definitely want to get your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Now, my ideas that I have for the future plans of my Jeep are an upgraded steering setup. So I've looked on Rusty's website. They have a kind of like a heavy duty tie rod and drag link setup that I've been looking at. So if anybody has experience with that, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And I've also read a few of your comments saying that I need to get an upgraded steering box. And that's because I've made a few videos talking about that I have a lot of play in my steering. So that could also be a potential future mod to the Jeep as well. Definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys would like to see next with this Jeep, because you know, I definitely do want to keep upgrading this thing as much as I can. But of course, here soon our priorities are going to shift to the 392 as soon as we get that thing. But with that being said, we are definitely not getting rid of this XJ, and we're not gonna completely forget about it. I still do want to upgrade this thing, take it to the shop, do some, you know, driving stuff with this thing, do some off-roading with it, do some exploring, and still have fun with it. So like I said, definitely very excited that we are finally getting that rear bumper replaced. And of course, like I've been doing for the past few months, I did want to give you guys a quick weekly update on my 392 Wrangler. As you guys know, I've been waiting for my 2023 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 since it's been over 5 months now. They told me 5 to 6 months is what it should take. I've already seen a few people getting their 2023s delivered. So at this point, I have also seen a 2023 with the Extreme Recon package get delivered, but I haven't seen any 2023s that are hydro blue. So I'm thinking maybe because I picked hydro blue as the color, that's why it's taken a little bit longer. But I don't know. The vehicle order tracking website still says that it's on step 1. It still says TBD for the VIN, TBD for the estimated delivery date, and it still just says order confirmed. It hasn't even gone into step 2, which is scheduled for production. So I have a feeling the actual website is very far behind and just doesn't get updated at all, because I don't know, it's been 5 months already. So really hoping to hear something very soon in the next few weeks so we can finally pick that thing up and, you know, get some more exciting content. And yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Hope you guys are as well. That's gonna do it for this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure to drop those down in the comment section below. And if you guys have any video suggestions for videos you would like to see in the future, also drop those down in the comment section below. And if you guys like this video or found it entertaining, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.